Hey guys, just doing a check-in. So I just finished work. It's a long day. Did 4 deliveries today. So for deliveries, I do RV sales full time. And so delivered 4 RVs today, which is a lot. So good sign, actually. People are still buying. So we're gonna keep selling until they tell us we can't sell anymore. But just a busy day, a little tired. Just went for a walk. So I'm up here in Draper. You see the city down to the side here. Huge mountain to this side. Just wondering what you guys are up to. How y'all feeling? I'd almost say with an emoji, tell me how you're feeling today. How's your energy? Just a couple things. I'm just gonna BS for a minute and just talk until somebody jumps on. It's really interesting to see all of this come about, with the shutdowns and the virus and the fear that everybody's feeling. At our work today, they brought in lunch, which was awesome. But they had people keep their distance. I had 2 deliveries that I had to do inside of an RV because the customers were afraid to come inside and be around people. And it's just amazing what fear can do to us. It's a case of now we're all kind of worried about being around each other, so now we have this social distancing. And don't worry, on a video I can't get you sick. I'm not sick. But the social distancing, it causes us to kind of pull away from each other, even in person. So we're not shaking hands, we're not holding hands, hugging, all this stuff that maybe we used to do before. Not that I hug on my customers, but I would shake their hands and stuff. And I get it to a degree that we kind of do that to protect ourselves in some degree, but there's a cost to it. And so what I am curious to see as we move forward is how people start interacting and connecting socially while not being present with each other. I saw somebody that said we're all together in this individually and separately, but we're all together, and that's true in a sense. We're all in this. And so everywhere in the world, I have friends all over the world, we're all in it. And so just wondering, how are you doing? What's going on in your world? Told you I was just gonna kind of BS here a little bit. I was gonna talk about nicknames. My business partner Ryan, he calls me Uncle Nick. So when he calls up, he's all, "Hey, Uncle Nick." I'll tell you where that story comes from and why that name, so it's not too creepy. My brother has a son that has Down syndrome, and whenever I come to their house and walk in, the first thing this boy does is he says, "Hey, Uncle Nick," and it just makes me smile. He's just the happiest kid. No matter what's going, he's not worried about any of this. He's just happy, And so when I come to their house and I walk in the door and I see him, he always says, "Hey, Uncle Nick." And he's just always happy. "What are you doing? What are you up to today?" And I think about that, he has Down syndrome, so he doesn't fully grasp what's occurring right now, like many of us do. And he's happy. He's happy all the time. He's happy just watching TV, just hanging out, And here we get all spun up in our heads about all the thinking about what could go wrong, about what we missed out on, what we lost. And he doesn't do that. And so it's inspiring in a way to me to just go back to the simplicity of life, just love what it is, because it is what it is. Part of surrender, I want to think of her name. I'll think of her name. There's a meditation on surrender that's awesome. And in it, she just, she talks about letting go. But to me, surrender is being okay with what is. A lot of times we think, "Oh, I gotta fight it. I don't want it to be this way, so I gotta fight it." And in fighting it, it just makes it worse for us. And there's a time to fight, no doubt, but there's a time where we just kind of let it be what it is, watch it ride out, and then, determine what to do from there. What's up, Ryan? Hey, Tammy. I just show you again the view here. Just gorgeous. Salt Lake up on top of the Sky Park in Draper. Just a gorgeous view tonight. You know, I was thinking the other day about trees. It's a little random, but you know, a tree lives for a long time, right? Goes through a lot of stuff, and you know what? In most cases, it never gives up. And so, you know, you think of the tree, like right now, I see the buds coming in, the green buds for spring, and that tree is just like ready to grow. Doesn't have any concern about coronavirus or anything else, or how to earn income, or you know, who to impress. Just is a tree. And so there's some inspiration in that. You know, sometimes just letting things be and trusting that things will work out, and just doing what you do is probably the best thing you can do. Tammy, I saw you making bread today. It's awesome. You know, Ryan, I see you out there just loving on people and helping them feel better. It's awesome. Just be you. You know, think of the tree. Think of the birds. They're not freaking out right now. They're all flying around and just enjoying their lives. So why do we do it? Why do we get all spun up in our heads about things that we can't control? Hey, Heather. You know, it's this idea of surrender, of just letting things be what they are and doing the best we can with what we have. Bread. That's what Ryan says. You know, we just make do with what is. And instead of fighting it, we just adapt and adjust, find new ways of living, find ways of being happy. And so I hope that you can do that today. I don't know. Just felt like getting on and just releasing a little bit, talking to you guys, even though it's not direct connection. I see your comments, so that's helpful. And you know, just thinking about, I don't know, just the craziness that fear can create in our minds and what it does to people. Like people that are normally not afraid right now are feeling afraid. People that I saw as anchors, some of my mentors, feeling fear. It's so interesting to me. You know, I lived 15 years with an anxiety disorder and learned to manage it. And now going through this, I'm like, you guys are afraid of this. Like I imagined all these things in my mind that could go wrong in my life. Never imagined this. But this is what we're going to be afraid of. This is what we're going to let our lives shut down for. You know, I think about that. This is the power of thinking. And it holds us back in some cases. In some cases, it launches us forward. You know, I keep working on this project with this book. Ryan and I have been busting. You know, it gives us a purpose, something to focus on. The challenge with fear is if you don't have something to focus on, it will control you. And so you really need to find something to put your attention to, because where your attention goes, that grows. Right now with the fear, everybody's attention's on the fear, so that grows. And if we didn't feed it attention, it wouldn't grow like it is. But we feed it attention. The media gives it attention. We all give it attention. We're checking our Facebook or TikTok or whatever we're on constantly, feeding it. And because of that, it grows. You know, there's this concept called, this is a little bit out there, but you know, a pendulum is a system that is grown by energy. And so as attention is given to it, it grows. And so a pendulum could be anything from a business, it could be an idea or a construct, it could be anything like that. And so as we feed it, it grows. And so if we starve it of attention, it can't have energy, and therefore it dies or it stops moving. And so you think of a clock, that the pendulum where it swings back and forth. You know, that's kind of the idea. Positive or negative energy, it doesn't matter. Whatever feeds it causes it to grow and to live and survive. And where we are, you know, the fear that's felt around the virus, the fear around the economy, if we feed that, it'll continue to live. And so I would invite you to starve it a little bit. Hi, Amy. Good to see you. Technically not seeing you, but it's good to see you. Welcome back. Glad you guys made it home safe. Look at what you're feeding. Look at what you're giving your attention to. Is it worth it? Can you shut it off? Can you direct your attention somewhere else? Can you put it on something that you want to grow? You know, can you put it towards your life? Look at that view. Isn't that beautiful? Can you put it towards a book you know, an idea, a business, a new business, something right now, something different? Can you put it towards a neighbor? Can you do any of that? Can you take that attention and put it somewhere healthy, somewhere that it's going to grow and benefit you and others, instead of feeding the fear? Because that's what that pendulum wants, is for you to feed the fear. Man, it got dark out. Anyway, guys, how are you doing? Show me your emotions through your emojis or a GIF. How are you feeling right now? Let's check in. Like, what are you feeling in your life? Are you feeling hopeful? You feel like you got this? You feeling scared? If you are, be honest. It's okay to be scared. It doesn't have to stop you. It's okay to feel it. But there's a way to work through it. Anyway, guys, I feel a lot of love towards you guys. I appreciate you. I'm grateful to have work right now. Maybe share what you're grateful for. I know I rambled. There wasn't any direction to this conversation, just rambling a little bit, but hopefully there's some kind of message in that for you. And I'll talk to you shortly. We'll probably talk to you in the morning. You guys all have a good night. Just a side note here, guys, life goes on. It will go on. It continues to go on. It can't not. Trust that. You guys have a good evening.